Hello, my name is Dalton Boyd, and for my Orientation to Education class and my teaching demonstration, I am going to be doing the activity of identifying and analyzing claims in the Federalist Number 1. The Utah Core Standard that this lesson applies to, or that applies to this lesson, is to cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly as well as inferences drawn from the text, including determining where the text leaves matters uncertain. So, I'm going to read the first paragraph of the Federalist Number 1. I'm going to read it through once, and I'm going to read it through a second time, actively analyzing the claims and evidence presented in it. I'm doing this as a example of what to do so my students, know this is how you look for claims, this is how you look for evidence, and this is how you tie the evidence to the claim that you found. The Federalist Number 1, written by Alexander Hamilton, October 22nd, 1787, in New York. To the people of the state of New York, after an unequivocal experience in the inefficacy of the subsisting federal government, you are called upon to deliberate on a new Constitution for the United States of America. This subject speaks its own importance, comprehending in its consequences nothing less than the existence of the Union, the safety and welfare of the parts of which it is composed, the fate of an empire in many respects the most interesting the world. It has been frequently remarked that it seems to have been reserved to the people of this country, by their conduct and example, to decide the important question whether societies of men are really capable or not of establishing good government from reflection and choice, or whether they are forever destined to depend for their political constitutions on accident and force. If there be any truth in the remark, the crisis at which we are arrived may with propriety be regarded as the era in which that decision is to be made, and a wrong election of the part we shall act may, in this view, deserve to be considered as the general misfortune of mankind. So, I'm going to read it through again. After an unequivocal experience in the inefficacy of the subsisting federal government, this is just saying the document first established after America gained independence wasn't working out too well. You are called upon to deliberate on a new Constitution for the United States of America, saying that we need to make a new one. The subject speaks its own importance, comprehending in its consequences nothing less than the existence of the Union, the safety and welfare of the parts of which it is composed, the fate of an empire in many respects the most interesting the world. This is his claim. This is his first claim that Hamilton makes. He's saying this event is important because it is an event that is happening. It is not important because someone else says so. It's not important because the president says so. It is important because it is an event that is what we are going through right now. We are making a new constitution because the old one wasn't working. Okay. It has been frequently remarked that it seems to have been reserved to the people of this country by the conduct and example to decide the important question whether societies of men are really capable or not of establishing good government from reflection and choice, or whether they are forever destined to depend for their political constitutions on accident and force. So, Hamilton is saying with this sentence that it has been seen many times that by the actions and the attitudes of people in the nation that we need to find the answer to whether we can make a good government based off of, thoughtful reflection and analysis of what has and hasn't worked in the past, trying to grow from our mistakes. This is his first piece of evidence for his claim that the event is important. He is saying if we need to establish if we can change our ways, if we can grow as a people, as a society, and make a better government for all, or if we are doomed to manipulative or exploitative governments, and uprising. Oppression followed by uprising, followed by oppression, followed by uprising, accident, and force. If there be any truth in the remark, the crisis at which we are arrived may with propriety be regarded as the era in which that decision is to be made, and a wrong election of the part we shall act may, in this view, deserve to be considered as the general misfortune of mankind. This is his second piece of evidence supporting his claim. He's saying this event is important not only because it questions if we can make a government designed to be beneficial for all, designed to learn from the mistakes of the past, and it is also important because this is when we decide that. This is when we decide if we can do that, or if that's what we're destined to. And the importance or the answer we find here is important because it applies to everyone. It will shed a light of what we can do to everyone, not just those in the United States or North America or Britain, but worldwide. And that is why this event is important, not only because it asks this question for us here, but because it asks a question for everyone, everywhere, for all time. That's his claim. From this, I will turn my students away from these whiteboard or projector, and I'll ask them to analyze the rest of the document themselves with their group. All of them taking turns discussing the ideas. We'll probably get to halfway through the article before I have to cut the rest of class time, and we'll either continue on with this article or we'll go on to the Federalist number 10, depending on how well they did in class and any adjustments I make to their level, to their mastery of the concept.